Alrighty, now that I'm through the first live video, and today's Saturday, and Saturdays are good for like stories and questions and answers. And this video today, believe it or not, is going to be about your tile and grout and dogs. Like, do you have a dog in your home that's basically destroying your floors? Have you ever even had a dog in your house and you need some tips on how to manage them on tile and grout? Or what type of material do you recommend for dogs? Well, today I have some good answers for that. And if I don't get anybody asking me any questions regarding that, then I'm going to start my own questions or stories that I've had in the past about dogs that I've dealt with that are nothing but a nightmare sometimes. And I love dogs. People's first question when I see dogs in the home is, "Do you love dogs?" And I'm always to the point where, "Yeah, I love dogs." And before you know it, one's growling or biting my leg when I get in their house. Or I've seen a lot of animals over the years in people's houses, but I can tell you that dogs are kind of like uh, my favorite, but I need a break. I've had so many damn dogs over the last 50 years. This is I need a break. It seems like every time I want a break with dogs, there's another one that shows up in my house, thanks to my kids and my family. However, let me tell you a quick story, quick funny story that happened to me one time. Actually, I got so many funny stories regarding dogs, but the one story I truly remember is I show up at this guy's house here in Las Vegas, because I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I've been here for 35 years, by the way. Anyway, I knock on the door, and this guy's got like 3 or 4 Dobermans at his front door. And this older gentleman, he was probably in his early 70s. This happened to me a good 15 years ago. And this dog decided to drape his paws over my shoulders while I was standing at the door. And he said, "Hey, I want you to meet my Dobermans. They're John, Steve, Paul, and Ken. Human being names was their dogs." So I was like, "Oh wow, what beautiful dogs!" I'm just really trying to get some confidence, to get a sale, to come into someone's house and do a job. And I saw the tile as I looked through the door. Anyway, I'm talking to him at least 3 to 5 minutes, and the dog's paws are literally draped over my shoulders. The dog stood on his hind legs, I swear to you, like 6 feet. Big Dobermans, big brown and light tan Dobermans. So I'm standing there and standing there and standing there. I swear 10 minutes went by, and I had these dogs who wouldn't let me go. So I said, "Sir, I think do I have the job? Are we going?" And he kept going on to another conversation. 10 minutes, literally 10 minutes went by. And these dogs finally let me go after one command that he gave. And that was, "Ken, John P., get off of him, get in the backyard." I swear to you, the dogs came off to me like that. But he didn't say nothing to them for at least 10 minutes. Oh my God, that was like the most weirdest and craziest time I've ever had with pets. My shoulders were red and numb from the dogs holding my shoulders. But yeah, I run into some serious situations in the home with dogs, and it's quite funny. Like I said, I love dogs. But listen, if I'm coming to your house and it's prearranged, that means typically for most people, I don't know if they understand this. Put away your dogs. Okay, don't hold your dogs in your arms, and then they're growling at me, and they put them down on the ground, and the dogs comes up to me and bites me in the back of the leg in another home in Henderson. And then all of a sudden, I'm bleeding my back, and the guy's laughing at me, the homeowner, and saying, "Oh, he does that to everybody." And I said to him, "Well, if he does that to me again, I swear to you, I'm going to kick him. I'm going to kick that dog." Okay, that hurt. And that particular job didn't even get the job. Oh my God, I've got so many dog stories. But let's see if I can help you. With pets in the house. Number one, if a service industry guy comes to your home, one of the first things you should really be doing is making sure that you put away the dog. Don't bring the dog to the door. I mean, I understand if you're a female and you got a St. Bernard because you got an ex-husband who's violent or a criminal, which I don't really go to those houses anyway. You know, you want to go there for safety. But listen, I'm coming to your house, and the dog's loud. I mean, it's ear piercing. Your ears hurt from the dogs barking inside these homes that a lot of times are filled with tile and grout. And it's like an echo chamber. I personally would say, you know, if you have a dog, put them away before I come to the house so we can talk and we're not shouting or we're not being interrupted, maybe in the backyard or a back bedroom. So not just me, but any service industry guy would really need to have a dog put away. I mean, it's prearranged. I mean, if you trusted me to come to your house, trust me to come in your house, see what you have so we can help you and diagnose your floors a lot easier. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go grab another light. All right. My God, now you can see me better. So, yeah, the dogs, when they're in the house, they're put away. Now I'm going to come in and look at your floors. And the first thing you're going to tell me is, a lot of people tell me, hey, they have a hard time with the dog. They're peeing and pooping on the floor. It seems like they're staining my grout. What can I do about it? Okay. Now, first thing you need to do, let's say the dog peed on the floor and you saw it, maybe it was even right in front of you. Grab yourself a microfiber towel, paper towels, put some Blue Dawn dish soap and water on it. Blue Dawn is my favorite all-purpose chemical for floors, and it's safe and it doesn't leave residue. Is a good reason why I don't even use any other products. I love Blue Dawn dish soap. Grab that and dabble the floor immediately. Nothing's worse than having to pick up pee on the floor from a dog, especially newer dogs. But it has to be done immediately. If you let the pee sit for any measurable amount of time, it's going to potentially discolor your grout. Even if the floors was sealed, the acid-based pee will eat right through your sealer. Okay, even if the floors are sealed. So get to it right away. Try to prevent it. Okay, if you leave pee or urine on the floor, if your dog's got a habit of going in corners and couches and more, and it happens to hit your tile, if you let it sit there for any length of time, it could definitely discolor your grout, and it could be permanent, even if the floors were sealed. I seal floors with water-based products. I'll do the tile and the grout, and it will leave the floors looking natural with smear or coatings and films. Nothing's worse than having a coating or film from some type of product that you put down to help you prevent dog pee that might stain your floor, because there's nothing that will stop it. By the way, if you have more than one dog, say you have 2, 3, 4. I got 4 dogs. You want to see my 4 dogs? I'm going to put them on stage. There's my doggies right there. Okay. These dogs, I swear to you, if one pees, they all pee. I got about a half a gallon of pee on the floor from these dogs. Okay. Especially this black one here. Good Lord Jesus. Here's a dog that I really miss. This is Arthur. He died. He was a Shih Tzu. Oh, I love that dog. I had that dog for 15 years. But this dog here in the black, oh my God, he bit him on the neck, and he was just playing because it was feeding time. And Arthur, oh man, I miss this dog so much. He was a lap dog. He barked a lot, but he was such a cute dog and lovable. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't pass this dog up for nothing. He was a great dog. But if you've got tile and grout like this one shown in this video here, and by the way, that's my tool that cleans floors. Being in the tile and grout cleaning business, you have to have the most effective and efficient tools. That tool right there covers about 1,000 square feet in about or greater, even 1,500 square feet in about an hour and a half. Set up the breakdown. It's very effective and powered with the right machinery, like what I've been using over the years. That's going to get it done. Anyway, I really can tell you that Dogs can be a real problem in someone's house. I once went to someone's house and they had, those pee pads. I should have a picture of one, but they almost look like diapers. You lay flat on the floor and you train. They're called training pads. This lady calls me up and says she's having a problem with the dog. And guess what she did? She put pee pads on every inch of her tile. I mean, in probably about 1,000 square feet of tile. I walked in and she was Asian. She's never had a dog before. And I do meet these people. And I said to her, the whole idea of having these training pads is to train them to go in a certain spot and then take that pad, maybe put it outside so now they could sniff it outside and go outside. She had the whole wrong idea. The house stank to high heaven. The odors don't leave for a long time, which presents another problem. If you have a dog and they are peeing or pooping in the house, getting rid of odors can be a problem. Okay. A lot of times dogs aren't just peeing on floors. They're peeing on your corners of your drywall, around your corners in your house or beds and more. It's quite unbelievable of how many dogs can ruin your homes. My dogs, your dogs, they're a lot of work. I say, and you know what? In Las Vegas, Nevada, where I live, the homes, I swear to you, you got about a 60-foot width a house with a 10 from the back of your house to the back wall, 10 feet. You throw a dog in the backyard and one that barks a lot, you got all your neighbors calling you now. And you're just inside trying to clean up a mess that he just did. And then on the other side, on the flip side, he's in the backyard and you got to answer to animal control at the front door. Whoever designed houses in Las Vegas, it's stupid. We got these big 6-foot walls everywhere. And I'll be honest with you, it's a terrible, terrible idea for laying out homes in the Las Vegas Valley with these walls that surround us. Anyway, pee pads are only good in one area. Don't put them all throughout the entire house, especially if you're a new dog owner. Large dogs versus small dogs on a house with a whole house full of tile. Like my house, I got 2,500 square feet of tile downstairs. That's a lot of tile. The tile in the home could be overwhelming and you need large cleaning apparatus. In my house, we use a 36-inch microfiber padded mop. That's really the perfect size for this size. Anything over 1,000 square feet, 36 inches microfiber padded mop is going to be your go-to. If you're going to have a pad that's going to be smaller, it's just going to take you a lot longer. And you first want to clean it with the Blue Dawn dish soap and water. Even if dogs peed on there, this is a good start. That microfiber padded mop, Blue Dawn dish soap and water, you could put it in a 36-inch a 32-ounce spray trigger bottle, spray it ahead of you, fill it with water, and then follow it with a rinse. So clean plus a rinse for your microfiber padded mop to ensure that the pee gets picked up fast and effectively. Okay. Don't take towels and dry the floors. All you're going to do is smearing problems. Let the floors dry naturally. Open up a window, a back door with the screen on. Don't open up the door if you don't have a screen. In Las Vegas, we got bugs that fly everywhere. We got flies and mosquitoes here too when it's really hot out, especially. But if it's a nice day, air out your house after you wipe down your floors, especially if you have a lot of family in the house and more pets. Chime in if you got a question. I'd love to hear your questions about the dogs. I'm still trying to figure out how I can get questions. So I'm looking for someone to post anything just so I can see if I can answer to it on the screen here. It's kind of new to me, and I'm going to have to look away from the camera to figure this out. But I'd like to see. Matter of fact, I'm going to try it myself now, see if I can post a comment. I have a big dog. Let's see if this works. Where is that comment? Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah, it does work. Well, it worked on my end anyway. If somebody could send me a comment, anybody that might be watching, it looks like I got a couple people. somebody could send me a comment asking me a question about your pets, I'd love to help you. In the meantime, listen, I'll tell you about another experience I had. I had a dog one time, literally came running outside trying to kill me. I went to this lady's house. This is a God's honest story. This happened to me, at least 10 years ago. She called me up and said her house is a disaster. Okay. She's got a large German Shepherd. I mean, an attack German Shepherd. When I got close to the door, when I was handing her my business card and my brochure, I could hear the dog growling from about 30 feet away. And I mean a vicious growl, like you were watching like Cujo. And I said to myself, oh my God, I ain't even getting close to that door. I get to the door, and the lady in a wheelchair, believe it or not, is holding this dog with one hand. And I swear, I thought she was going to whip the wheelchair right out of the house. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not coming inside you. Put away that dog. Okay. So all of a sudden, she closes the door, and it sounds like a massacre just happened in the house. Like the dog went nuts. And I'm waiting outside now to go inside to see her house. Anyway, I step back. She opens the door, and the dog literally is like, has a muzzle on now. She somehow put a muzzle on the dog and took the dog by hand and tightened up the leash as far as you can get the leash on the Shepherd, and said, come on in. And I went like this. Really? Are you sure you got a good hand on that dog? She goes, oh, I do this all the time. I said to her, listen, I'll take a look at your floors as soon as you back up about 10 feet. I'll walk around, and I'm going to step back outside because I think your dog's about to rip me apart. So it sounds funny and horrible, but this is a true story. So I start walking through the house, and I'm looking at her floors. Let and behold, guess what's on the floor everywhere? Crap. The dog, she doesn't let the dog outside. The dog lives in the house and wants me to clean up all the floors, even had a piece of like AstroTurf or like fake grass in the house, and let the dog pee there in the house. Oh, the house smelled to high heaven. I was literally, my eyes were watering and tearing. And I said to her, how long have you been having this dog? I mean, has this dog been in the house for a long time? Or she goes, no, I've had the dog for about a year and a half. I'm just trying to tame the dog. And I'm like, I wanted to say to her, look, this is not the way you do things. You got to let the dog outside. And I kind of looked in the backyard. It was all dirt, like a lot of people's homes in Las Vegas, Nevada. The backyard's unlandscaped. They might have a concrete pad, but the place is dirt and rocks and weeds growing. And it's just so ugly in the Las Vegas yards sometimes. Anyway, so I'm walking through the house, and I said, you know what? I'm going to have to turn down your job. As a matter of fact, I really should be calling the health district. Actually, I didn't tell her that, but I was thinking this in the back of my head. Your floors were so dirty. I really don't want to do the job. I don't want to get sick. I don't want to get attacked. But I gave her good advice, and that was stop letting the dog stay in the house. You may need, I think, I don't know who would come in the house to clean up that mess. No housekeeper's going to come in the house with a vicious dog. That dog's going to tear somebody apart. But anyway, I really don't recommend you to allow your dog to crap and pee in the house. We have places for them to go to the bathroom. And if there is nowhere for the dog to go, then you shouldn't have a dog. A dog needs to go outside, not inside your home. I mean, I might have somebody argue with me about that, but I'll be honest with you. If I'm going to have a dog, it's common sense. The dog's inside. I mean, my wife's Filipino, so they have a different idea about dogs, and I'll tell you about that in a second. But dogs in America, we own dogs for comfort, for love, for companions. And dogs don't really belong 100% in the house. They're not made to go take a poop and a pee in the house. They're meant to go outside. And when I have to go in the house and see that, it's like, God, don't you have common sense? I mean, I am talking to somebody who is probably over 50 years old, and they just think that they're doing the right thing. And it's kind of like embarrassing and weird for me to even have that discussion. Now, where my wife's from, people who are dog owners, would you believe they feed their dogs and let them outside? Now, that's a third world country. I totally understand, but dogs don't stay in the house pretty much at all in Philippines. I do have an in-law that does keep their dogs inside like us Americans do. But I'll be honest with you, that's far and few between the dogs that are outside that are vicious dogs, by the way, and they're everywhere. They need a 53-foot trailer to round them all up and take them to the pound or something, because they got an overwhelming amount of dogs that I've never seen before in my life. Just to try to drive in Philippines. Good luck. I'll never drive in Philippines. There's too many dogs everywhere outside. It's depressing, actually. And they're not just your everyday type of dogs. They look like hounds and Australian type of dogs. They're not fan favorites. Trust me, these dogs that they do have. They are selling cuter dogs now because people are making money from them. But anyway, back to more questions that you might have. That's the whole idea here, is for me to try to help anybody that's on here that may have a question regarding their floors. It doesn't have to be whether or not you have a dog or not, but I thought that would be a good part of the discussion. Again, here's a picture of my dogs. These are the 4 dogs we have right now in my home. And that black one there is kind of wild and free. And if I didn't tell you, they're all brothers. The big white one here in the middle, the one that looks like that one wolf in that movie, he's the leader. He's the oldest. I think he's 7 years old. He's had 3 litters with his the female, and she just passed away about a year ago. The one to the left of him in that picture, that dog's the youngest, and he's wild with the black dog. And the one in the back is kind of like he's got an obedience problem. I mean, I love that dog, but he's tough. And this is the dog I love. I can own another one of these, I think, just because they're good, fun dogs, and they always jump on you for attention. And they don't eat a lot. They don't, they know when to go outside. And by the way, back to I recommend a doggy door. If you're having problems with your dogs, get that doggy door, especially on tile and grout. Stop cleaning all your floors, and guess what? The dogs sooner or later will use a doggy door. You can put one in a sliding door. You can put one on the side of your drywall. You can hire someone to put one in. I don't like the ones that are in the sliding glass doors because they always break. You open up the door and then you hit them with it and it just breaks. I like the permanent ones that they can go in and out. If you're worried about coyotes or some other animal coming inside, or even an invader coming through the doggy door, buy the one that locks down and you put a collar on. And the collar activates the gate to come let the dog in and out. There's a helpful tip there. Doggy doors. You could put them in doors. You could put them in walls. You could put them in sliders. There's a lot of things that you could do with these doggy doors, especially if you're having problems with the dogs peeing and pooping in the house, not just once or twice, but all the time. So try to look into that, getting these doggy doors. Anyway, I'm sitting here watching the Cubs game at the same time. I'm looking for the Cubs to win here, and we're in the top of the 5th inning. And it's not looking too good. It's a tie game. They got 1 out, and man on second with the Cardinals. Okay, so more questions regarding animals. More stories. Okay, how about a question? Okay, your grout's turning yellow, and you believe it's from your dog, but you're not sure and want to know if it could be removed and get your grout back to the original color. Guess what? You will never know until you start cleaning the floors whether or not the grout will have that stain removed, even with professional machinery. There's no guarantee that pee stains will come out, okay? I can say this much, that once I get going and I start my process with my machinery, I'll know immediately whether or not it's going to come out. Okay. Sometimes it takes the grout some time to dry so you can see what's going on, especially darker grout versus lighter grout when a dog pees. But some people have really keen eyes. They're very OCD, and they can see pee stains if they're in their house, and they're kind of upset that their grout is stained different colors in certain areas. Everybody's different. especially if you got a house where you got the sliding glass door to the back of the house, and then the front door's got a lot of light coming through it. And you open up the front door, you can see everything, from the front door to the rear door, about like 70 feet all the way back in a typical residential home. So staining on grout, there's no guarantee that pea stains are going to come out, especially if they've been there for a long time. So if you have white tile, white grout, your grout may be stained permanently, especially if it's been left there for any measurable amount of time. Measurable amount of time, 2 days. Pea is acid. It's low on the pH scale, just like human pee. So understand that pee is going to ruin your floors. Poop. If you leave poop on the floor from a dog, on the tile is impervious, you're probably never going to have a problem. It might stain it brown, but those stains can come up. Believe it or not, a good product to remove staining or rusting on the floor, as another tip, CLR. Get CLR, and they make some new CLR that has no odor. It's in a silver bottle or even a yellow bottle that gives it a spring flower smell, believe it or not. Highly recommend that. That's a great product, CLR. If you don't see it in the store, go to like Home Depot or Lowe's, or I even find it on Amazon. I see a lot of products on Amazon and you can buy for your house, including that microfiber padded mop I talked about earlier and you can get your Blue Dawn dish soap there and just have it delivered to the house, especially if you're a Prime member at Amazon. But caring for grout is not easy, even if you don't have pets. Maybe you dropped a bottle of mustard on the ground, or you dropped some pickles on the ground. It will stain your grout, even if the floors were sealed. And a good question I have for you. How often do you think your tile and grout should be cleaned professionally, especially if you have a family, say of 5 people, 3 kids and mom and dad, and 2 dogs or 1 dog? Most people appreciate tile and grout cleaning professional service once a year. It's like a flush, okay? It's not just about aesthetics. It's about what we call picking up the funk and the junk off the floor. That's from sickness, disease, pets, parties, and more. It's a great service, especially with all the past health issues we've had in the last several years in this world. You're going to breathe better. You're going to feel more confident to walk in your house. Which, if you are walking on your floors, try to always have socks on your feet. Stay away from bare feet and shoes. That's going to help a lot. Bare feet and shoes are killer on any material. And I don't care if it's porcelain, ceramic, natural stone. The big ones for me I see is porcelain, ceramic, and travertine. Travertine, I don't know who designed travertine, but that's going to be another discussion, another video of mine. I got a ton of stuff to talk about travertine. But natural stone or travertine is very difficult to manage. Imagine pea on natural stone. You know what pea does on natural stone? It etches the material. Travertine is the #1 material here in Las Vegas, Nevada, as far as flooring is concerned on natural stone as a type of floor. You pee on natural stone in your house here. It may etch it. It may even turn it to a different color. You may have a blotch on the floor, which makes it darker in that area. Travertine, when dogs pee or poop on travertine, it needs to be picked up absolutely immediately. What type of travertine do you have? Do you have matte finish travertine, or do you have high gloss travertine? No matter what that travertine or whatever type of natural stone you have, it's gonna etch the material. Yep. Before you buy a dog, make sure you know what type of material you have in your house. Dogs will, and scratching and indentations on natural stone, they happen like that. And if you're calling me to clean your floors and expect me to remove scratches and indentations on natural stone, that's slim to none that's ever going to happen. I guarantee you, you may have to have natural stone restoration. Natural stone restoration, by the way, is a fortune to hire. If you need that in your home, expect an extremely high bill. And I don't mean because they don't deserve it, the people that are doing the work. But let's say you have 1,000 square feet you might be in the 3 to 5,000 neighborhood of resurfacing your floors or cutting your floors or bringing up a shine. And believe me, pets have a habit of making you spend a lot of money when it comes to natural stone. I can only tell you through experience, I've seen a lot of ruined natural stone here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And a lot of folks wish they had a different type of material that mimicked natural stone. And I can't but agree with them. And they do make material every day that does mimic. I guess on this subject, talking about dogs, I get a lot of questions about thin grout versus thick grout. Thin grout, believe it or not, breaks up a lot faster. So if you're thinking that the thinner grout joints in your material are going to help you in the future, all they're going to do is break up faster. And especially if it's on the second floor or higher where it's not on concrete. Okay. When you have this natural stone on regular concrete, yeah, it will last longer, but I can tell you thinner grout joints aren't really the answer. Go with standard 3/8 grout joints when you're laying grout or tile because they're sanded grout and it lasts probably from what I've seen anywhere from 10 to 20 years if it's done right. There are a lot of fly-by-night people who do tile and grout as a service to lay in your house. Even builders. I've seen some nightmares with tile and grout at people's house. That's a whole nother video as well. How people are laying floors. By the way, it's not done by craftsmen. Years ago, we had tile and grout laid by people who actually love to lay floors and be like perfectionists. Like I had a friend in construction trade. He was a perfectionist. He enjoyed laying floors and construction. He did everything right. And if it wasn't done right, he tore it down. So, yeah, I would highly suggest if you're going to hire somebody, make sure they know what they're doing when they lay tile. But thin grout joints, it's not going to help you in life. If you're really going to do a remodel or do something in your home, don't even think about thinner grout joints. Stick with standard 3/8 grout joints, okay? And go with larger tiles versus smaller tiles. Smaller tiles, the old school 12 by 12s, even 18 by 18s are too small. Go with something larger. I would recommend what we call large format tiles. Large format tiles will last longer. And porcelain, I always recommend porcelain tiles. Porcelain are probably the best material, but I'll tell you the truth, between ceramic and porcelain, they're both near the same product, except one supposedly breaks up more, which I don't see all the time, even if they do have ceramic. So I think you're safe with both those products. And for pets, which I didn't talk about the tile, you don't want high gloss products. If you know you're putting in floors and you got 1 dog to 4 dogs or 10 dogs, you imagine these floors with their paws, with those claws on the floor. They're going to go flying if it's a little bit wet, amongst other issues. Home run. Thank you, Lord. Yeah. You have textured tiles, you have matte finish tiles, you have high gloss tiles. I can tell you right now, in a home, high gloss is perfect maybe for the bathroom, okay? Maybe, okay? Remember how slippery it is coming out of the tub? You go flying, you got your mom in the house, you got your dad in the house. They're going to get hurt. You know, you hear about people who break hips. It's because of the flooring, okay? They're slippery. You go crashing. Be careful about what your selection is if you're going to put new tile in, especially when it comes to dogs. I say that tile is not a great surface for dogs. Now, there's really not too many surfaces that are great for dogs, especially large dogs versus small dogs. I don't know. It's a problem that we all have to fight as far as safety, and whether it's our dogs or whether it's us as human beings, we can go flying, and it's a safety hazard. I say that if you're having a dog, and if you have a dog and you're looking at houses and you see a floor, you're buying a house that's 2,000 square feet or more. Maybe it's a 2-story, you got 1,000 square feet up and 1,000 square foot down. Evaluate the floors before you decide that you're going to move to that location, because the dogs has a lot to do with your life and probably not going to go anywhere anytime soon if you're going into that house. So my suggestion is if it's not right, then you may even have to do a redo in the house to redo the floors. Okay, um, it's a shame. I see this a lot. People are buying these homes and they have these beautiful dogs, and uh, I'll notice it right away because they'll open up the door. The dogs are already running around the house. They have one of these standard poodles. My mom had standard poodles. She loved standard poodles. Oh God, we probably had about 20 of them in my lifetime. My mom's still alive. She's 87, and I stay far away from her as much as possible. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, standard poodles are beautiful dogs, but you know what? They got claws and they're tall and they can go flying across the floors because it's even happened in my mom's house when I go over there. I'll go over to see the dogs and the dogs will come flying. The dogs will slide like ski, like a road runner. Yeah, that's be careful on the floors that you move into homes. And yeah, these dogs, believe me, they're cost they cost a lot of money. These dogs, and we all love them, and we don't want to get rid of them. And the kids don't want them. They need security. My God. Anyway, I really haven't any questions. I want to answer someone's question. I was hoping that somebody would chime in and give me a question. I really, let me see if I can find this banner that says, here, what type of tile do you have? What type of tile do you have? Are you a homeowner? Where are you from? These are all great questions for people that come on here because I really want to help you guys if you're going to watch me. My whole idea of doing this live video is, I put out a lot of videos for tile and grout cleaning help, and I give pointers, whether you agree with me or not. I'm the guy to talk to. You're not gonna probably find too many people who've done nothing but tile and grout cleaning over a 25-year period. I've done this for over 25 years. I've done 10,000 jobs. I didn't hire someone to go out to do it. I did it. See these hands? These have done 25,000 jobs. And I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you how I made a living through the years. And I really loved what I've done over the years. I think really I've loved meeting people more so than doing the work. Doing the work is cynical for me. I know when I come into your house, I'm focused. I start from the deepest part of your house. I go back. I'm not fast. I am effective and efficient. I usually have a helper. I used to do it all myself, but I prefer a helper. Some things are getting heavy nowadays, and I need some assistance. I need some oomph, more oomph. I probably still can do it. Actually, I know I can still do it, but I have helpers to help me. But it's hard for me to send somebody else to do a tile and grout clean job without me there. I don't think it's ever happened. I've never sent anybody on a tile and grout cleaning job to do my work. My work, I'm very, very stingy about. I want to do it all. I'm there to get it done right and make people happy. I want friends. I don't want enemies. Believe me, I've had a handful of enemies in my business, and I don't know why, but for some reason, they hate my guts. And I don't hate their guts. I tried to be nice, but every now and then, I would say once a year, I might run into somebody who's just a miserable bastard. No matter what I do for them, or even if I work for near free, they're not happy. Not only did I do a terrible job, but they're not paying me. They're giving me a problem, and I'm like, what? It's like the worst experience you could ever have. I really can't run into the best people all the time. I will say, and this is true, people are profilers. You ever hire somebody because you thought they looked like a family member or a cousin? I get that a lot. It seems to me like majority of people that hired me for work have some type of feeling about me and trust, of course, because I do establish trust real fast when I get work in people's homes. Whether you have a pet or not, you're going to love me. I have a good sense of humor. I have all the traits of an owner-operator, which is another video of mine. I'm going to end up doing a live video talking about being an owner-operator. But I really have good instincts on how to help others, especially if you have pets. I know how to handle pets. I love pets. I would never hit a dog, and actually I hit my own dogs because they jump on me, and I have to push them down. I don't hit them hard. I just hit them, on the back of their ass, or pardon me, back of their butts, and they're just they need some discipline. A lot of people don't discipline their dogs. My God. Sometimes I come into someone's house and their dog's running around the house in circles, going around, going on couches, jumping up there, going, and usually some ladies yelling, "Hey, George, get down from the couch!" And I'm like, "He's on what?" And I'm not talking about just any couch. I mean a couch like that's $10,000 couch. And I'm like, "Oh my God, you let your dog go on that couch?" It's funny, but I've seen it all. I've seen it all when it comes to pets, let alone dogs. Pets in general. And one time, I'll do a quick story that has nothing to do with the dog, about another type of pet. One of my first jobs I ever did, I was doing upholstery cleaning years and years ago. I'm cleaning this lady's couch, large couch. It was a little dark house, older house somewhere in the middle part of town here in Las Vegas. I still remember this happened at least 20 years ago. I'm cleaning the couch, and all of a sudden, you're not going to believe what popped out of the cushions, underneath the cushions in the couch. An iguana. I flipped my tool up. I flipped out. I seen this thing pop out, and I said, "Holy shit!" My son's been looking all over for that iguana. I went like this. "Yeah, lady, I'm done. I'm out of here. As a matter of fact, don't even worry about paying me. I'm done." She said, "Oh, no. Here, take this money." I said, "Nope, I ain't cleaning." She goes, "My son's been looking for this damn iguana for I don't know, 3 weeks, and you found him. Oh my God, I even want to give you a kiss." And I was like, "No, you don't." I said, "I'm grabbing my stuff and I'm done." Look, I don't like snakes. I've had another iguana experience. I did this guy's house, and sitting on a TV, what it appeared to be like a stuffed animal, like it was an iguana. I don't mean a little tiny, I mean, this thing was about 6 foot from head to tail. This thing slightly moved, and I freaked out. I almost fell down over this guy's bed, because that's where it was. It was in his bedroom. And I said, "Oh my God, that's real." I flipped out, and I said, I finished the room as best as I could. I got out, I slammed the door, and I said, "Why didn't you tell me you had an iguana in your room?" And the guy goes, "Oh, I never thought he was going to move." And I went like this. He moved. As a matter of fact, I'm not going back. It was so funny. I've had so many stories. I mean, I could almost be a stand-up comedian talking about some crazy events that's happened through many years. And hopefully when you tune into me, you're going to find out whether or not, you enjoy watching me, because, I'm not your typical live guy. I mean, I tell things off the cuff. I don't have a script. I'm not looking at something on the screen. I'm just telling you a live story about Tyler Grout and dogs. Okay. Mostly dogs. I would say 8 out of 10 homes, there's a dog. 8 out of 10 homes. And most of the time, I would say 4 out of 10 people do not know how to take care of a dog in the home. And 6 out of 10 people have no common sense when it comes to somebody like me coming to the door. That when I say comments, put the dog away. You're coming in announced. I prearranged for myself to come into your house. I called you. We talked about it. The dog came in. You know what I mean? Put the dog in the backyard. Put him in another room. Okay. And the last thing I'm going to talk about, because it just came to my mind. If you have a dog and I'm coming to clean your house and you're going to hire me, you already made up your mind. You're going to hire me. The price is right, whatever. And you got everything ready to go and you want to know what to do with the dog. Put the dog, if it's a nice day outside, put him in the garage if you have to, if it's cool. If it's 110 degrees, I don't really necessarily want him outside. But if there's like a area outside underneath an awning so I can go to work, he's only got to be outside for an hour, maybe about another 30 minutes after I'm done. You can let him back inside. But I get that question, what do I do with my dog while I'm working? Put him in a room. I mean, common sense. Take him for a ride in the car. There's a lot of things you can actually do in order to make sure that I can go to work and be unobstructed from pets. Anyway, I wish you guys a great day. How about maybe a like from anybody or a subscription? Maybe someone subscribe to me and get some more humor and some crazy talk from Michael Marcus. Because yeah, I am a lot of fun, and um, I really enjoy people. I want people to start asking me some damn questions. I like questions, and it seems like nobody has a question. And I've been on here for how long? Damn, 45 minutes. Holy crap, that's a long time. I'm gonna try to break this record and talk about another subject. It appears like nobody has it. Maybe somebody will replay this on YouTube. But yeah, and if you do watch this on YouTube without it being live, leave a comment there. I'll answer it. I answer everybody's questions. I'm there to help. So I think I'm done for today. I'm going to get back to watching baseball today. I've been on here 45 minutes and nobody's had a question. So I'm hoping to drum up some business here and help you. I'm probably the right guy to talk to. I've been doing this for so many years. And yeah. God bless. Have a great day today. Have a great Saturday. Today, believe it or not, let me close this out. September 27th, 2025. Can you believe that? My God. God bless.